I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-looking for another load. Well, it's a family tradition, any Rocky Mountain day. Our fathers before us showed us the way. We work for asphalt cowboys and concrete kings, but that's never been a problem, cause we got diesel in our veins. We've got diesel in our veins.
What's up, JFW family? Welcome back to the Channel 23 podcast, and Happy New Year. It is 2025, and we are recording episode 164. We did take a break for a couple weeks, which is really the first time. I mean, we've missed one or two in 3 years.
Right.
But we've never deliberately been like, we're going on vacation.
Right.
Yeah. Need a little holiday break there. And the holidays were a little weird being on Wednesday, right?
So, yeah. It really was weird.
It was bizarre.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Right? I mean, a couple days I'm like, what day is it? You know what I mean?
Don't know.
Is it Friday, Thursday, Monday?
You think it's Monday, but it was Thursday.
Right? Yeah, I guess that's what it is. Just It was rough, man. I'm glad they're over and we're moving on.
Yep.
I had a lot of Fridays. It's Friday a lot. So, as a reminder, go ahead, Jim.
No, I was just going to say Happy New Year, everybody.
New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas.
Yep.
Jim Sr. mentioned he wanted to tell everybody Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. It is good to be back, though. I was like a little nervous just now. Like,
yeah, Linda was like, did you forget how? And I was like,
nope.
No.
I got the gift of gab. We all do.
Right?
Well, the purpose of this podcast is to reach out and touch the fleet, to engage and inform everyone with all things JFW. Clearly, we have Jim White, Brother Dave, and Super Dave in the studio this morning, and we're going to rock it out with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Man, we still got it. I love it. Father God, we thank you for the opportunity to go out and do some trucking today. We pray for the safety of our fleet, all of their families, and all the other families and individuals we come across on the road today. We pray for patience and making a good, safe decisions. We pray to be accident-free, and that we all make it back to the comfort of our homes this evening. We pray for healing and 100% recovery for all of our family members that are ill. No matter what, we trust you, God, and it's in Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Yep. As a reminder, anything you hear on today's podcast is not the opinion of JFW's. It's just the man in this room's opinion. We happen to work for JFW, but JFW does not pay us to say these things.
We're off the clock right now.
Yeah. About that. Wink and a handshake.
Right.
Episode 163. In its first week, it had 316 downloads, which was still on the rise. We are at 86.7 thousand total downloads, and we picked up 8 followers, and we are at a total of 664 followers.
Outstanding.
That is outstanding. Heck yeah. Yep. It's time for the Dad Joke Challenge. I'm going to kick it off with a Bella joke. My daughter Bella, she comes up with these amazing homemade Bella dad jokes. So the other day she says to me, Dad, what city are you required to eat a lot of cookies?
city, right?
What city are you required to eat a lot of cookies?
Milk City. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, not even close.
Chocolate Chip City.
When she was 4, that would have been the answer. But at 10 years old, the answer is Albuquerque.
Oh, Albuquerque. Man.
That's a good one, Bill.
Great.
Yep.
That's so much better than mine.
You got beat by a 10-year-old.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
All right. I'll go next.
Okay,
since I'm
good.
talking about
Good,
it.
yeah.
But do you want to hear my pizza joke?
Sure.
Oh, it sounds cheesy. I mean,
Nah, never mind. It's too cheesy. So I got another one. How many rings, or what has many rings but no fingers?
Telephone.
You're right. A phone.
Wow.
See,
Oh.
man, I just can't
Man,
stump
you got-
anybody today.
you got your thinking cap on over there.
Yeah.
Well, I cheated because I looked up what are the worst jokes coming into 2025, dad jokes.
Oh, wow.
And these are reused ones, or there's just the top 3 that they picked. So why couldn't the pony sing a lullaby?
Don't know.
She was a little horse.
I was going to say, because horses can't sing.
Then what do you call a boomerang that won't come back?
Stick.
Yep. That was out. Good job. Good job. And then what did one toilet say to the other toilet?
Don't make me laugh or I'll flush.
You look a little flush. So that's supposed to be the top 3 worst ones.
Worst ones?
Yeah,
Oh,
for
funny.
2025.
Yeah.
They're pretty
And I
close.
have seen all of those before,
Yeah.
but I couldn't remember the answers.
If they weren't the worst, they're the worst now.
Right.
I keep coming up with the same jokes because I'm typing in the same request. You know what I mean? Like, oh, great dad jokes or funny dad jokes, whatever dad jokes. And
I
yeah,
think you type in dirty dad jokes.
I have Jam. It gets way off.
I'm telling you, we need the R-rated podcast. At some point this year,
Listen.
we need to pull it
Yeah,
off.
so you
Those-
want to hear something really creepy about this AI revolution.
Mm.
I look for all my dad jokes on my computer downstairs. I'm getting all these links on my phone now for jokes.
Yeah. I mean,
Joke's on you.
Apple just settled a $95 million lawsuit because they've created their phones to listen to you. I mean, just this week, they just
So
settled
it's
a
listening to
$95
me
million
tell the
payout.
dad jokes.
So who's
Yeah.
getting that money?
I don't know who's getting that
I
money.
mean,
but
I've
whoever
had
whoever
my
sued
phone
him
for a
is.
long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
jumping on that bandwagon.
Yep. Well, I have a political / youth / college / all sorts of shit
Oh,
joke.
man.
So I've covered all the bases here, but I know you're shocked starting off the year with politics. So this is news just in from the USA. You who worry about Democrats versus Republicans, relax. Here's the real problem.
A political joke.
In a Boston University classroom recently, they were discussing the qualifications to be president of the United States. It was simple. The candidate must be a natural-born citizen of at least 35 years of age. However, one girl in the class immediately started in on how unfair the requirement was to be a natural-born citizen. In short, her opinion was that this requirement prevented many capable individuals from becoming president. The class was taking it in and letting her rant. And not many jaws hit the floor when she wrapped up her argument by stating, what makes a natural-born citizen any more qualified to lead this country than one who's born by C-section?
Oh, that's great.
Yep. These are the same kinds of 18-year-olds that are now voting in our elections.
It's true.
They breed, they walk among us. Lord, we need more help than we thought we did. No wonder more than half of the graduating college students can't find a job.
Dang it. Ouch. Man, that's rough. On a higher note, new employees. We got David Higuera, Carlos Rascon, Mark Dillon, Elias Horta, and Jesus Sanchez. Welcome to the fleet.
Yeah,
welcome,
you
everybody.
guys. Glad to have you.
You know what's so cool about these new employees? I know who they are because I did the orientation.
Yeah.
Orientation.
Yeah.
Right.
I need I actually need to stop in there and introduce myself. And yeah, moving forward, it's just nice to know who they are. I
Yeah,
got to know them a little
agreed.
bit. Yep.
Especially when you spend some time with them, because like me and Dave, we won't get to, we get a quick introduction and then they're out working.
Yep. Who's that? So celebrations, anniversaries. We're going to catch up on some here. Ricardo Christensen hit 2 years on January 1st. Jesse Baeza, 6 years on the 2nd. Ricardo Cordova, 1 year on the 2nd. Jonathan McKee, 1 year on the 2nd. Fabian Sotero, 1 year on the 2nd. And Johnny Beret hit 4 years on the 6th.
Wow. Congratulations, guys.
Congratulations, you guys. That's awesome.
Yep. Outstanding.
Birthdays, Robert the Bear Lincoln, 12/27. Uriel Maluna had a birthday on the 31st. Sammy Galleta Sonrisas Diaz, January 2nd. J.R. Sands, a.k.a. J.R.'s, January 5th. He answered the phone the other day and had a little sip and answered the phone. This is J.R.'s. I like it's catching on. Jason Cantu, January 6th. Rick Showtime Gray has a birthday today. And Chance Dobler is going to join Rick with his birthday today. And then Kurt Spencer has a birthday tomorrow.
Wow. Congratulations, everybody.
Yeah, happy birthday, everybody. Rick and Chance today, and then Kurt tomorrow, and then the ones we missed, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. But happy birthday.
Absolutely. Fabian Sotelo's, family birthday celebrations. Fabian Sotelo's son Levi had a birthday on the 29th. Kylie Guthrie, that's going to be Casey's daughter, had a birthday on the 30th. Edgar's son Jeremiah had a birthday on the 31st. Jack Oquendo Mejia's wife Monica had a birthday on the 1st as well. My buddy Tim, Fit Tim, out of North Carolina, had a birthday January 2nd. And Tommy Trujillo's wife, Sontreva, had a birthday on January 4th.
Happy birthday, everybody.
Yeah, happy birthday, family.
Good stuff.
All right, let's get to the shout-outs. I want to give a shout-out to JR for doing a really kick-ass job putting that PowerPoint for orientation together. I was able to walk in there, never given orientation before, and just, start the slideshow and
Walk right through it.
I know enough about JFW to talk about it a little bit, and it's really, it's a class act.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really good. So, anybody who's been here for a little bit and could talk on the points is able to do that because of the way he set it up. It's like turnkey, Also, I didn't notice for a little bit on the PowerPoint, but there's notes on your computer screen to hit points that should be discussed.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, so it was really really cool.
That is very cool.
So,
So like a tab almost, Jam? Or
exactly. So on the right, it's like, bullet points. Items to discuss.
And you can click on them. They're live, almost like a live link or.
Well, they don't go up on the screen. It's just for
on the computer. I got
proctor,
you. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah,
So,
that is great.
job.
Erica said she was really impressed with it when she took the class a few weeks ago when she started and how well it was put together in a PowerPoint. And I know she's going to help Casey and Kendrick because theirs is so hands-on, and Kendrick's been asking, he wants to get his more kind of like JR's that anybody can walk in and try to do it. And she just said she thought it would be pretty difficult because Kendrick goes over walking around the truck. The pre-trip is so intensive, but he just doesn't miss things. And I know Casey filled in for him this week, and, just Erica's opinion, it's just a lot when you're over there trying to go through it by hand, I guess. I don't know how else to call it.
Well, the nice thing is, though, like, even in JR's PowerPoint, there's videos.
Mm-hmm.
There's the, the embarrassing accidents that we've had, which I cringe watching, but what a great thing to show in the orientation. Like, this is what we don't fucking want.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
There's your rated R, Dave.
Yeah. Because I know we got them at television over there too.
Yeah. Then there's, the low gauge calibration video. That needs a little bit of work because it's turned sideways, but yeah, that might be the only thing. It's not even a complaint, but it's like, I think I'll just talk about this. But yeah, you are able to play videos. Also, we really need to have I don't know how much time we'll have at the steering committee meeting later. We really need to talk about this Connect team because it does things I had no idea about. I had a meeting with the gal from Connect team. She was in Israel.
A Connect meeting?
Yeah, I had a Zoom meeting about Connect meeting, but it could be a solution for a lot of things, and it's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yep, separate conversation. Chance Dobler, this is your shout out. Well, from JFW, but you brought it up, Brother Dave. So why don't you go ahead and?
Yeah, I just wanted to be sure we covered it. Chance has been running the Utah run there, hauling salt. I mean, pretty much since day one. He's just a plugger. He's going out there and grinding and getting it done with everybody else that's doing it. And unfortunately, I guess, was it 2 weeks ago or 1 week ago? I can't remember.
2 weeks
with
ago.
the holidays and all the time off and stuff. And anyway, we sent trucks out on Friday to preload to come home on Saturday. Well, Chance made it to Grand Junction and his truck broke. And he got stuck there, luckily. And this was the one 2 weeks ago. Excuse me. Mike was able to get his truck repaired at MHC, but it wasn't until late Friday night. So then he was basically up all day, went ahead and drove to like Green River or Salina. I don't remember which. Tracy was able to set up him getting loaded Saturday at 2. So he leaves there, comes home, fights ski traffic. I mean, the guy was stuck on Eisenhower for like 2 hours in traffic. Make a long story short, he didn't get home till like 1:30 or 2 in the morning on Sunday morning. And I just wanted to give a shout out to him. And I don't know if he's made a run between then and last Friday or not, but he went again last Friday and the freaking truck broke again in Grand Junction. It's still at MHC, and
Wow.
he's just such a rock star. I mean, he's the one kind of being almost a liaison for Mikey on, hey, this is what they're doing or this is what they're looking at. You know what I mean? And they haven't pulled it in yet. And then Mike will call MHC and go, hey, my guy says you're not doing anything or whatever there. And I just wanted to give him a huge shout out, man. You're a rock star, Chance. And I just thank you for hanging in there and not having a shitty attitude about it. And, you know, believe me, there's circumstances beyond our control because we don't want to send a truck out there that's going to break. We try our best not to, but honestly, we just never know. You know, I mean, they still don't know. There's still a case going on in that truck. And luckily we had other trucks out there. So he actually hopped a ride. I don't know who he came back with on Saturday. So he's here, and 0034 is still in Grand Junction.
Man, great job, Chance.
Yeah, absolutely, buddy. Way to grind it out and not just have a crappy attitude about it. I get it.
He's been like that since day one. Too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's come in here with a great attitude, and he's been a pleasure. I haven't heard or experienced anything negative with Chance.
Yeah. It's just outstanding to have people like that.
Adds to the culture.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. It's just amazing. So what a pleasure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Another guy that's been an absolute pleasure, Valentino. Want to give a shout out for Valentino for throwing chains for Fabio, or helping him throw chains, I should say.
Yeah. He made his first trip out to Utah.
Yeah.
Picked up some salt. Yeah. Yeah. Martinez took him under his wing, and man, they rock and rolled out there, loaded and rock and rolled back. So
Yeah. Thanks for showing him the ropes, Tony.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think we need to add in there, Dave, too, just a quick one. I know he didn't get stranded out there, but Elvin had problems with his truck.
Oh, yeah.
And had to wait for the tow wrecker and Ricky to show up and
True.
get him back
True,
and
yeah.
all this other stuff. And again, it's one of those deals. It's at the dealership, still broke down as far as I know.
It's here.
Oh, did they get it? We haven't even taken it over yet.
It broke down in the other side of between Vale and Eisenhower, broke down at Copper Mountain. We got him to Eisenhower and then it was just done. So had it towed here, and it's not, Mike's trying to figure it out. It's not, I think it's a wire loom is what I'm trying to get at. It's a short and a loom. It didn't go, to the best of my knowledge, it's not at the dealer. It's out here in the
I didn't
yard.
think he could get it, so he took it to the dealer.
Yeah. Oh, maybe he did yesterday. I don't even know, Jim. Yeah.
You guys have been busy.
A lot to keep up with. So yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, just that Utah run keeps throwing, some curveballs at us. And
Yeah.
all the guys that are going out there. I mean, we keep
Oh,
complimenting those guys, but all the stars can line up and you could have a real easy trip, or you may have some problems. But even just talking to Brent Carter the other day, might have been yesterday, he's like, man, I absolutely love going to Utah.
Yeah.
He's like, this local stuff is cool. He's like, but going to Utah, he's like, I would just do that all the time. I love it. He's like, if I got to throw chains, no big deal. I just love going out there.
Yeah. And what's really awesome is, God, we had 600 tons going up to Vale. I think we had 400 tons going up to Breckenridge.
That changes everything.
It was like money for those guys. Seriously, they made some quan.
Yeah.
So good for them.
So cool.
The shame about it, and I know you're like you said, Jam, we've had some problems, but when you're running here in town, you don't notice those problems as such. The truck's breaking down because it's easy to get a mechanic to you. It's easy to get you here because
easy to tow the truck.
Yeah. I mean, but as much money as we spend on new equipment and we're still having these issues, it becomes deflating for everybody.
Right. I mean, you look at it, Chance's truck is a 2023 Kenworth that's got 221,000 miles on it. And you're like, dude, that's literally like a new truck.
Yeah. And it's down and out though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they can't fix it.
Yeah.
And then.
Yeah. And then it really sucked. Shout out to Potter. He hauled some parts up here for it from here that Mike put in his truck Monday morning. They weren't the right parts. So Mikey was able to get parts from Jackson Peterbilt up there, which is literally across the street. So then he called John Jordan, who was at the hotel. He ran over to Peterbilt, picked up parts, took him to Kenworth to get the truck fixed, and it's still down.
Yeah.
So, I mean, everybody plays a part, and we're thankful to have what an amazing team. You know what I mean? To get those things done.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I got to dog them because I think the teamwork, I'm glad we have that kind of teamwork because like Kenworth and Peterbilt there, Pack Car product, they're both shitty products at this point of not getting us going, but they can't buy parts from each other.
Yeah,
You know,
they won't buy parts.
Won't buy,
Yeah.
buy. And it's a pack car product.
Only
But,
internal. Yeah,
you know,
they
but
only
just-
buy from internal.
Go ahead and screw the customer.
Yeah.
You know, I don't.
Don't have the customer's best interest in mind. Dude.
No, and
Right.
that's what we try to do. You know,
Yeah, JFW is different. I mean, we go through it all the time. We just, you know, if we were a restaurant, we would be a different restaurant. If we were an auto dealer, we'd be a different. If we were a truck dealer, we would be different. You know, we would just, by doing that good job and just doing common sense things that are helpful, that's what makes us stand out. So,
absolutely.
yeah, but we can't expect that. I mean, when we expect that from other people and businesses, it just doesn't work out.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's like foreign, Jam.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, you don't do that.
Wow,
Yeah, and
that
it's-
just makes too much sense.
Yeah, and that is common sense. That's what really blows you away is you don't. You know, I was in Home Depot, whatever, on the holiday there getting a part, and the deal didn't have a scan on it. You know, you couldn't
QR code.
couldn't scan it. And the lady looked at me, and you know, it's in the self-check line, and I couldn't find it. And she walks up and she goes, "Oh, that should have a code on it." And I'm like, "No, it doesn't." She goes, "Oh, yeah, it does." I'm like, "No, it doesn't." You know, and I roll, "Oh, she does it. It doesn't." She goes, "Do you want to go get another one?" No, I don't.
No,
I've already been there and
Right.
got your part that doesn't have the number on it. No, I don't want to go get another one.
Do you want to go get one?
Right.
Exactly.
And I'm checking myself out here.
yeah,
Where
customer
do I
ser-
clock in?
yeah, customer service.
Yeah, usually they run back and get you another one.
This lady was
Usually-
like, "Nope. Do you want to go get one?" I'm like, "Nope."
Nope.
It was terrible.
I didn't want to get this one.
Yeah.
Was she able to look it up for you, or did you just leave it there?
Oh no, the story goes on, Dave. So it's 2 fuses, and she goes, "So is it the same as that one?" I said, "Nope." And she goes, "Well, that one's got a QR code on it. You can just scan it."
She just wanted to get you out of
I'm like, "Okay." I scanned not even the same fuse,
Right.
The same
different,
breaker, Dave.
different
Yeah.
part, different,
And I scanned
maybe
it.
different price too. Maybe you got a deal, Jim.
I think I did get a deal, Dave. But how long do you have to stand there and argue with him?
Right.
You know, I'm glad.
Customer service, right?
Yeah,
Out
I'm
the
glad we
window.
try to be different. Yeah.
Speaking of Brent Carter, he wants to give a shout out to Teddy Haney just for doing an outstanding job and always helping him get going. It's another guy, you know, just adds to the culture.
Right.
Always in a good mood.
Yep.
I want to give a shout out to Jonathan McKee. I don't really know if this is good or bad, but it is noteworthy for sure. Jonathan, so he just had his anniversary, and, you know, I'm in there looking at PTO and doing things, and I noticed he has his 60 hours of Colorado sick. He just got his 60 hours of front load for his anniversary. There's 120 hours.
Yeah.
Then I look at his PTO. He's gotten 55 hours of PTO.
Wow.
So he called out one time and he missed getting 5 hours, which honestly, I think maybe we should give it to him after this conversation. Let's talk about it. He's never taken a day off. He's never put in for time off.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is fantastic.
Yeah. So he has 175 hours of time off on the books.
Wow.
I'm like, Jonathan, the limit's 140. You know, we gotta do something pretty quick here.
Funny, and we have people sleep through work because their kids turn their phones off.
Oh, we have guys that they're not here right now, but we had a guy has been disqualified from all his time off through May of 2026.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, he's not here anymore, but yeah. And then here's a guy, he received every bit of it, but 5 hours, and has never taken a paid day off. It's like, we encourage you to take those days off. We don't want you to do what Jonathan did, but
Yeah.
wow, Jonathan, you know, so I called him yesterday. I'm like, we got a problem. you need rest.
Right. Right.
And it's a good problem.
Yeah.
Shout out to Zach Tharp for coming in on his day off. That's always super helpful to dispatch when, you know, they get a call and
Right. Yeah. No, it was it was a Coors load, right? We were in a
I'm
bind for a
thinking
Coors
somebody's
load, if I'm
coming
not
on.
mistaken. Yeah. Yeah. We had somebody call out that was scheduled to work. And I mean, on those days on weekends, when you're scheduled to work, it's tight for us
Right.
because we only scheduled you.
Right.
We didn't schedule extra.
Right.
You know what I mean? When it's a Saturday and we've got 40 trucks running, we can cover a call out. But when it's a Sunday and we have 3 trucks running, we scheduled 3
Right.
trucks. We
Yep.
didn't schedule an extra.
33% of our fleet canceled.
Yes, exactly.
We're called
yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no doubt. So yeah, thanks, Zach. I mean, dispatch brought that up and That's just, I mean, God, we've been bragging for like 15 minutes
Yeah.
on everybody. It's
Jim asked me earlier, he was like, is the outline full? I'm like, it's full of shout outs.
Isn't that awesome? I mean, it's outstanding.
It is.
Yeah, because the next two, when you get to them, Jam, here, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good stuff. I'll let you go. Yeah.
All right. I want to give a shout out to Oz for actually working yesterday and going to pick up a load at Avery and delivering to Lost Creek. So we had a load at one of our new brewing companies
Yeah.
that needed to go picked up, and we were kind of scrambling, and Oz went and got it and went and delivered it to Lost Creek. And
Yeah.
he was getting here when we were leaving. I don't know did we leave on time? 5:40, 6 o'clock? I don't know. He had a pretty long day out there in the truck, man. So nice job, Oz.
Nice. Thanks.
Thanks, Oz.
Yep.
Did anybody have to give you some directions? Don't bullshit me. That's the clutch kind of stuff.
I bet he called dispatch, told him he didn't want to haul that load.
He was coming in, and Linda was looking to make sure he was getting home. Mama Linda.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, he's pulling it now. And she's like, all right, Oz, this and that. And it was like no answer for a little bit. I'm like, he doesn't have his company radio on, Linda. And of course he did, and he answered. But, yeah. Same thing for Andrick. Andrick was home yesterday, and he came in special to grab the other load from Prost Brewery. So
Wow.
similar situation. We were scrambling to get somebody to go get these loads, and here comes Andrick. He's another guy that's just been a superstar since day one.
Yeah, and I know he got held up because I think that was froze out there.
Yeah, the pipe was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was at Prost or
One of them was.
yeah, one of them was. And it's funny, when we picked it up, we asked, how bad does this freeze in the winter? And they're like, oh, we've never had it freeze. And we're like, it's on the north side of the building. It's going to freeze. And I think it's happened twice already.
Right.
Right? We get out there and it's froze. And we're like, what? It's never froze. Yeah.
Never. It's never happened.
Right?
Isn't
And
it a brand new brewery though?
No, not the one, Dave. I mean, it's been open for a couple years that keeps freezing.
Linda wants to give a shout out to Oz and Tracy for not having to worry about anything while she was on vacation. Just talking to Linda a little bit yesterday, just pretty solid crew where she could go and like actually enjoy herself and not worry about what's happening here. So
Yeah.
it's important to have good people in your corner to take over while you're gone.
Outstanding.
So. And then last shout out for me, well, not for me, but that I'm going to read is Dustin Courier wants to give a shout out to Brent Carter, Coleman O'Mara, and Steve Barnes for helping him get his trailer unfroze up at Vail yesterday. So
Yeah.
great job.
But I didn't
guys.
even know anything about it. They got it taken care of.
Yeah. He was texting me in like some cryptic misspelt words, and I think this is what he meant. So good job, guys.
Yeah, thanks for the help, everybody.
He was voice
Absolutely.
texting.
Yeah.
Thank you for voice texting. Any shout outs from you guys?
I just heading into 2025, again, happy new year and wishing everybody the best. And I'm looking forward to 2025. This year's going to be busy. Like I said, when we sit down, we're a week into the new year here and we just have so much going on. And I'm really excited. It should be a good year.
2025 is going to be a good year.
Yeah. Yeah. Breaking ground over at the new building, even though we've been saying we're going to break ground. We've gotten through some little steps, some platting, some different stuff like that. That's just been some holdups, where we got the new customers. A1 Chip Seal will start, in the springtime here. We got the new plant down south. We've been doing the Redmond Hall. I mean, there's just a lot of good stuff. I had a little snow yesterday. And so we got good snow, little practice with the snow crew and stuff like that. And yeah, it's positive. We're going to have lunch with Brandon next week and, just reading through their emails and stuff. They're excited for 2025, the asphalt and concrete side. So yeah, just a shout out to everybody and excited for 2025.
Nice,
It's going to be
Jim.
good.
It's going to be great.
Yep. Absolutely.
Any other shout outs, guys? Nana?
Good.
All right.
Just rock and roll.
All right. Let's get into the discussion of today's podcast. We got a couple things on the list here. Number one, we are transitioning away from Paycom, potentially going to QuickBooks. Everything's kind of up in the air there. But the reason I bring this up is I want everybody to start paying attention to their PTO. I'm doing my best trying to get everything to match perfectly from Paycom to QuickBooks or maybe another platform. Ultimately, though, it's your responsibility to know how much PTO you had on the books, because I'm a human being, and perhaps when everything gets moved over and finalized, if this number doesn't match what you think you should have, we need to have a discussion about it to make sure that you're made whole, or I could explain to you why it's different. So please pay attention to whatever you're on the books. Also, once we switch over, I've also been moving over the time off requests all the way out through 2026. So if you requested time off this year, it should be in the new platform to wherever we go. But again, it is also your responsibility to check and make sure that your time off is correct in the new platform. Does that make sense, everybody?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, again, it's being an advocate for yourself. I mean, you really should be going over your paycheck no matter what, your PTO or whatever. I mean, it could be your garnishments. It could be how you have your taxes set up. It could be anything, it could be missed loads. And that's your livelihood,
Yeah.
And you should be taking responsibility for yourself. Make sure you have, if you're doing long-term or short-term, and, I know you guys pay for that, but, that's something you should pay attention. Is it on there? Do you want it? Do you have it? Same thing. All of that stuff is so important. And if you're missing it, what you're bringing up, Jam, that's free money. That's something you've earned. You've worked to have those hours. Make sure they're correct. Make sure they're being transferred forward. Why would you give those up?
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. We do have drivers that they know to the penny.
Yes.
yeah.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah. Andrew Berger, he's on it.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, there was 50 cents missing out of my paycheck 3
That's
weeks
great.
ago. I mean,
right? That's the way.
because, yeah,
Should
like guys
be.
like that. And then we have guys that don't even know what they grossed last year. Hey, how much money did you make? I don't know. Not enough. Well, how much? Don't know.
Right.
Okay. So, yeah,
And it's all right there at your fingertips.
Yeah, Paycom-
all right there on your phone.
Yeah, right now, like Paycom is your like connection
Yeah.
to all this stuff.
Yeah.
You should look in there. You should see, make sure your benefits are right. What do you got going in your 401k? Is JFW matching correctly? Are you being taxed too much? Are you being taxed too little?
Exactly, Jam.
All those things, don't just take for granted that it's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop and taking them. If you can spend 15 minutes on TikTok or looking at YouTube or doing something like that, log into your Paycom and look at that. You know what I mean? Get familiarize yourself with that. Look at your insurance. Look at your 401k. All of that. It is right there at your fingertips.
Yeah.
Just immerse yourself a little bit and educate yourself a little bit on what you've got going and what is just there available for you.
Absolutely. Next thing on my list, slip and falls. It's still a thing. We had one yesterday. This was not a 3-point of contact fall. It was just a walking fall. Okay. But man, if you fall, it hurts. And the older you get, the more it hurts, right? If you got existing injuries, they're going to hurt too.
Right.
So you gotta either do the poopy walk, and honestly, consider these slip-on ice traction cleats. They make all the difference in the world. It's like, you're walking on dry ground with these things. So, if you want to protect yourself, get you some slip-on traction ice cleats.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're everywhere. I've seen them at Walmart
Yeah.
and Home Depot. They're just really everywhere, and they're very inexpensive, but a good purchase for anything.
Amazon, baby.
Yeah, Amazon, have them brought
Right?
to your house. Yeah, it's
Right.
so easy.
I'm getting so lazy. I don't even want to go to a store anymore.
Yeah.
If I know what I need, I'll be like, yeah, I can get it like $6 less at the store. I don't care. I'm having it delivered.
It's hard to beat. I was in Costco the other day. I need a laptop, but I don't need like this laptop. I
Right.
need something that'll just, a little bit of storage, just something.
Yeah.
Right. And I was looking at Costco. I was like, oh, that's a pretty good deal. Then I went on Amazon and I found one with more RAM and this and that. And it's like $80 cheaper. It's going to be here Thursday.
Right?
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Right.
It's hard to beat.
Mhm.
It
But-
is hard to beat.
I do try to support local companies as well. If there's a store that I like, I will go buy my smoker pellets there, or,
Sure.
try to boost their economy up a little bit.
Yeah.
If I was going to get some at Walmart or Costco, I might as well get it on Amazon,
Right.
So, all right, let's see here. Moonlighting. it is wintertime and a lot of guys have part-time jobs or little side hustles they do. It is important to note that your side hustle can't get in the way of your main hustle. Okay. Especially if your side hustle is driving. Okay. That's a problem when it comes to hours of service. May not be your, 70-hour rule, but it could be your 10-hour rule. You got to have 10 hours off from a CDL driving job to do this job. You can't work till 3 a.m. or 2 a.m. driving a truck and then come in here at 6 or 7 and then drive our truck. That'll be a DOT violation.
Absolutely.
So keep that in mind, guys. Don't mess up your main hustle for your side hustle.
Yeah, it makes it. Yeah, I was just thinking about that. You're trying to make a little bit of extra money, but you just can't do that, Jam.
Yeah.
You spelled it out. I just don't want to elaborate on it, but it's dangerous. It's the liability. It's back to the what if.
It's the liability.
It's the liability.
And so somebody get a hold of that if something happens, an accident, and you're going to be held liable, and you're not going to get out of it.
Yep, we got to protect ourselves.
Yep, and yourself. Yourselves at JFW, but you got to protect yourself.
Yeah.
Don't give anybody any reason to sue you.
Yeah, I was sure Brother Dave shared with you, we had an accident in 2023 where a guy took away our space. We hit him at, I'm going to say 4 miles an hour. And, this guy's a real piece of, we'll say, work, for lack of a better term. But
I kind of want to preface that, and I don't mean to interrupt you, Jam, but we bumped him at almost like idle. I think 4 miles an hour is generous for speed.
I don't want to, I don't want to misspeak.
Yeah.
But the thing is he was moving too.
Yes.
Yeah. So it wasn't like this. Yeah. But anyway, he jumps out of the car, like, looking for the damage.
Yeah.
The guy never even filed a claim for the damage of his vehicle.
That's what I wanted to say is the speed you're talking doesn't matter. He doesn't have any damage to the car. Has
Nothing.
Never asked to have the car fixed.
Nope.
Right.
Nope. But he went to the ER to get checked out. He had like an $1,100 bill from the ER docs. And then he kept going to the doctor. He had some kind of $15,000 bill through Medicaid. And Medicaid paid $592 of that. So there's 16.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. He's on the hook for $1,600. Well, he was trying to extort our insurance company for $15,000. Hey, my bills were $15,000. No, there's only a lien for $592. You didn't pay that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, I'm going to sue you and this and that. And I'm in law school and I talked and our guys just no. But at the end of the day, we had offered him, or insurance offered him $5,000. At the end of the day, he wanted 20, and I think we ended up settling for 10. And just talking to Great West yesterday, we don't want to give him anything. And the guy was like, listen, Jam, I get it, but at the end of the day, it's going to cost you more than $10,000 to defend this if he does lawyer up again. Because he had 2 lawyers that both kicked him to the curb. But if he gets the right one, if he calls Frank Azar, Frank Azar is going to take it.
At a certain point, Jim and I need to sit down and look at each other and go, do we want to pay a lawyer $10,000 or do we want to pay this POS $10,000? I want to pay someone working $10,000.
Right.
And that's what it's going to start to come down to. And I think you're going to start to see, and man, this sounds terrible, but based on the election and the current feeling in the country,
right,
there's a movement happening to get back to what's right.
We're tired of the
and what's
movement.
normal and what's the correct way to do things. And the tide is it's moving in. Right.
Couldn't be happier about that.
Exactly. And I think you're going to start to see companies like us and other things start to fight that stuff.
I love it.
Because it just really is crazy.
Yeah, we've been fighting that stuff for a long time. When I say we, ultimately it's your guys' final decision, but, we'll fight the DOT people at the port. We're going to fight false unemployment claims.
Yeah.
We're going to fight, all the bullshit. Yeah. We don't stand for it. And
ultimately in this situation, the guy should have and I'm picking a number out, but I think it's pretty relative because he doesn't even think he has damage on his car when I bet to replace that plastic bumper, because I bet there's a mark in it, is probably $1,200.
Probably.
We should owe him $1,200. And Jim and I would be like, yep, we owe him $1,200, right? Not $20,000 in bogus medical claims.
Right.
That that Medicaid paid for. Guess what? He's not even paying for it.
Yeah, and the thing
He's
about
not even paying for his own insurance to pay for it.
the thing of it is too is this is how scummy this person is.
Yeah.
We're ready to cut a check for the medical stuff. Well, he wanted the check cut to him.
Right.
And our guy's like, nah, if there's too many bad actors, we'll cut Medicaid the check.
Yep.
He's like, no, I know my rights and you could cut it to me. He's like, we could, but we're not,
Yeah.
So he's getting benefits from Medicaid, but he's also enrolled in law school.
Yeah,
So he says, Dave.
So he
right?
said.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
the type individual that we're up against.
Right. He even, I'm going to throw this out there. He accused our Great West person of he's like, you're discriminating against me because of my color. And the guy says to him, I have no idea what color you are. I've only talked to you on the phone,
Right.
So,
I mean, that just tells you right
tells
there,
you everything.
Right.
Yeah. So back to the moonlighting thing. The other thing about that is if you're out there trying to make extra money, but then you're too tired to come to work to make this money, are you really making extra money?
Right.
That's the point.
Yeah. If you're going to work and then have to call off on a Monday because you worked on a Sunday night, then are you really making extra money? I don't know. So it's got to make sense. All right. Let's see. The winter storms and the workload. I feel like this is a storm that's really affected us this season. I mean, we're still doing Utah, but we did have a lot of trucks hit the last couple of days. But hang in there. I feel like it's going to be a kick-ass year. We're starting off the year better than we started off last year. So, you just got to weather the storm, no pun intended, and, hang in there and just know that the sun's coming.
Yep.
Got to keep in mind, though, a lot of those trucks were sitting because of the holidays. And there was a lot of plants and pits, both, that were closed due to the holidays.
Oh, absolutely.
And then, so here, this storm rolls in, 4 days after New Year's or 5 days after New Year's. And so it's back to back.
Yeah.
And then now to back again.
Yep.
I mean, listen, we all just sat here and talked about how disconnected we were at work. We didn't know if it was Monday, Friday, Thursday,
Right.
Tuesday. What day is it?
Yeah.
Could you imagine coming to work and going, oh, I have to dig a foundation today. Where does it go?
Right.
And then you're off for 3 days and you have to come back and go, well, where did we finish on this? What do we need to dig? We got to get rid. Mud's coming. When?
Right.
What? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't even work those weeks.
Yeah. It's almost a relief. I mean, I know we should appreciate our time off more, but it's almost a relief to get through those. I mean,
Right.
I love celebrating and
Totally.
acknowledging the birth of Christ. That's great. Celebrating it on Wednesday. It kind of was like, what, New Year's, I'm glad that we went right back to work on Thursday. It wasn't like a complete shutdown again, but yeah, it feels good to have all that behind us and we could focus on normalcy.
Yep.
I like things to be, like a standard.
Yeah.
Time to go to work.
I think Super Dave calls it routine.
Routine. There you go.
Yeah. And the thing is, hopefully you got some PTO time built up. We did pay for the holidays. We got a paid holiday and you have to be here to get that stuff, right? I mean, 6 months before you can get the holidays? Is that where it starts at?
90
No.
days.
First day of the month.
For the holidays?
What is it?
After 60 days.
Yeah.
For the holidays.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically, when your benefits kick in, you start getting paid holidays.
Okay.
Anybody that started work after New Year's, their benefits start March 1st, and they will receive all the paid holidays for the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
So
Perfect. And we've put that in. So, a lot of people here got paid for Christmas, so it's not a missing day. You're not off. And, it's just, we've tried to put all these programs in to help somebody get through. And I have to go back, the anniversaries. There's a lot of guys that started right now, this time of year, several years, 2 years ago, 1 year ago, 6 years ago. And, that seems like a really tough time to start here, in the middle of the winter, but look at the success we have there on starting now. They've got through it. They're champions, and you just got to plan and work through it. It can be done.
Absolutely.
let me look at those names again on the 1 years.
Yeah, I know Ricardo, and because I was just looking at him.
Ricardo Cordova, Jonathan McKee, Fabian Sotelo. Yeah, those guys are studs. Jonathan, he made it through without even using AP.
Right? Yeah.
He made it through the winter,
Yeah.
not cashing out any days.
Yeah.
Yep.
And when
When you look at the last 2 weeks, I mean, if you got paid both your Wednesdays. You got paid for Christmas. You got paid for New Year's,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So
and then we kind of worked, you know,
Yeah.
and that's what I want to
Yeah.
bring up. You know, we'll have to go over things with you and make sure you're qualified and you're ready to chain and all that. But the Redmond Hall is open to haul. Anybody
we
can.
need more trucks. I mean, I listen to Oz and Tracy and Linda call people every day. Can you go? Can you go? Can you go? Can you go? Can you go?
And they get a lot of no's.
Ow, more no's than yeses for sure. So if you have
it's-
a money issue, that's not on us.
Yep.
Right?
And you need to ask, and we may tell you no, but we're going to train you so you can go. You know, there's going to be a reason why and what's going on. And you can take somebody else's truck too. It doesn't have to be your truck.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of options here that you just have to ask about. And I know I guess that kind of leads me here, Jam, on this last one on the winter storms. Can we talk about last year's wages?
Yeah.
You know, I think that's important to talk about because was there 17, you guys?
There's either 17 or 18 people made over $100,000.
Yep.
And in the worst year in the last 6.5 years that I've been back, last year was the worst year, right?
Slowest.
Slowest.
Yeah.
Yeah, slowest. Yeah,
Yeah,
if you
but
look at that.
We still had 17 or 18 people make over $100,000.
Yep.
50% of the fleet made over $80,000.
I was just going to say, if you just lower it to 90, 25% of them made 90,000 and more. I
There you
know
go.
that for a fact.
There you
Over
go.
25%, Jam.
There you go.
90,000 and more. And that has to have some guys that haven't worked here a whole year. You know, they just dropped in and got going.
Yeah, one of the guys that made over 100,000 was a first year driver. At least one of them, you know.
Yep. Yeah, and
He was so proud too. It was the first time he ever made $100,000.
Ah,
yeah.
outstanding.
Yeah, couldn't.
I mean, there was a top group, and I got to brag. It's 120,000.
Yeah, I think the top driver made 127.
Yep.
Nice.
And that's just going and getting. That's just working.
Yep.
You know?
That's coming to work every day.
Yep.
That's not saying, you know, I need a raise, but I'm not here to, you know, we have people that ask for raises, but they don't come to work every day. Easiest way to give yourself a raise around here, show up, you know?
Well, and we've talked about that before when they take those days off and they take them unpaid. That really hurts.
Yeah, snowballs down.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't understand what that hurts. They're probably listening to me going, well, how does that hurt me? It was unpaid. That lowers your average.
Right.
When you take a PTO day off, your average goes down because you've taken other days that are unpaid.
Right.
When you have PTO and you take a day off, take it paid.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
if you have 8, 10, 12 days saved up and you get sick, take it paid.
Yeah. If you have 175 hours of PTO, use some of it.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because it doesn't hurt you. Doesn't affect.
doesn't.
It's a
Right.
paid,
It
it's a
helps.
paid day.
Yes.
It helps.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm going to use that word first time in 2025 here, but the hardwire, those top guys that I know is on that list, none of those are hardwire. They just go and get the
What?
load.
A hardwire.
That's
dead
what
to
is
me.
that?
Don't
right?
even
We
know.
don't have
You know,
hard wires.
Nope.
Man, I'm
Nope,
glad
don't
that's
have
not
it.
a word anymore.
Or I only run this, or I want to run this. Our top guys run everything.
Hardwire. That's a 4-letter word around here.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
I'm going to switch it to hard working.
Hard.
Ooh.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep, they are.
Yep. You know what we say? You eat what you kill around here.
Right.
So if you're not out there killing it, you ain't going to eat it.
Right?
Except if you had some of my meat sticks from the venison I killed this year, then you're eating what I killed. And I remind everybody of that.
I had some, Jeff. It was really good.
That was so funny. You know, I took the rest of that summer sausage home.
Nobody wanted it.
Huh?
Nobody wanted it.
Oh, totally wrong, man. But I brought it home because we were having our neighbors over. I kind of forgot they're not vegan because they eat fish. What's pescatarian? They're pescatarian, right?
Is that a
They eat meat.
religion?
And I brought it home and stupid me. I just don't think like that. I'm like, hey, Janet, I brought some summer sausage home from Jam's Deer, because I'm like, that's cool to me, right? We grew up eating that, Janet's family always had it. We always had it, right? And Janet's like, oh yeah, you think the neighbors are going to eat that? And I'm like, oh, good, more for us. So anyway, like fast forward a couple more days and I come home and she's just got it out mowing through it with like some cheese,
Oh,
Jam.
that's
She's
funny.
just eating it with cheese.
Mm.
It's gone.
Yeah, I need to bring some more in. Good stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. How do you beat that with jalapeno and cheese in it?
And you know me, I'm not the
Beat it.
spicy guy, But I love that jalapeno cheese.
But it's not spicy. It's flavor.
Yeah, but
You
we
know what I
say
mean?
that about those burritos from where do you Santiago's? These aren't spicy. Yeah, they are. Yeah. The summer sausage, it just gives it some really good flavor.
Yeah, it's outstanding.
Yeah, they did a good job. You know, the end of the day, other than the service, right? So we talk about this. So this is good. So the place that I took my deer to be processed, they have a service, right? But also a product, right? They're selling me their specialty meats, right? The service is processing it, but they also create a product. We don't have that, right? The service there sucked enough to make me get my own processing equipment and say, you know what? I'm not going to deal with this again. This has been a great experience until I've dropped my deer off at the processor.
Yeah.
But man, they've done a good job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've done a good
Their
job.
meat, their product. Yeah,
They're-
that's where it's the
Yeah.
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 Luckily,
the
they have that.
specialty meats are yummy.
Yes.
You know, so it's like, wow, you know, I didn't even have to do that and it's yummy. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, I'm still going to do it on my own. But yeah, I mean, that's the point is we only have the service. You know, we've
That's-
talked about this.
That's all we offer.
If we don't give good service, we don't have anything.
Yep.
So, all right. Last thing I got over here for the discussion is our benefits have renewed. Yesterday, I got a physical. I know Super Dave, you went the day before, 2
Mhm.
days before, this week, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So it's funny. It's like, why are we both getting our physicals in January? It's like, well, our benefits renewed. And, you know, I remember getting benefits here right away. I got my benefits and it's time to get a physical. But yeah, go get a physical, get your blood work done, you know, make sure everything's in order. You know, if you're 50, you may need a colonoscopy, or 45, whatever they're saying now. But, you know, consider mental health help. You can even talk to your primary doctor about that if you're not feeling up to speed the way you should, you know. But early detection has just been proven to be a benefit
Oh, boy.
to the outcome. You know, if you got something wrong, you know, it's kind of like your car. Let's say your car's out of oil or low on oil because you got a little leak and you catch it early, you fix it up, put more oil in, you're good.
Yep.
But if you run it out of oil, you're going to have a bigger problem. So, you know, if there's something wrong, and a lot of people don't want to know what's wrong, but especially when it comes to like more serious things like cancer, you want to catch this stuff early. So if you have benefits here at JFW, like the dust has settled from us trying to, you know, do all the, you know, the magic with the benefits, and it's a done deal though. Like we have them, use them.
Absolutely.
It's the best I could say.
You know, and it's better if you haven't been to the doctor and you haven't done anything and you haven't set anything up. Take a few minutes, pick that primary doctor, make an appointment, because it's going to take weeks to get in.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't just call and go, oh, it's 9 a.m. You have a 1 p.m. opening. You know what I mean? That's not going to happen. Right. So when you are sick and you do need to go, then you're going to have to sit there while you're sick and pick your primary care and you know what I mean? All of that stuff.
Yeah.
But you can go to specialists with all this, direct to them, but you got to try and get in.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, yesterday I got the works, you know, like typically, you know, that annual checkup is free, you know, but you got to be careful because as soon as you ask for something outside of that, well, now it costs. But,
Right.
you know, I was there and I knew it. I knew I was going to pay. And it was just like, you know, at one point the nurse, you know, she was doing something for me and she's like, you know, well, how much time do you have? And I'm like, as much time as it takes. Like,
Right.
I'm here. I want to be taken care of.
Put on the gloves.
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't anything crazy.
Advocate for yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You hear that snapping of the gloves.
I'm like, this is embarrassing. She's like, this is nothing. Nothing for you.
Don't do that, Dave.
Okay.
But anyway,
They do unscrew the top off that tube, though.
It's usually a flip top.
After they snap the gloves.
do you want a male doctor? Absolutely not.
Yeah. If we're going to get close, let's be close.
Right.
So anyway, be an advocate for yourself. Pay attention to your Paycom, but also pay attention to your benefits. Like,
Yeah.
you have them. If you're paying for them, use them.
Right.
Yeah, your personal care, your well-being. Everybody needs you. We need you. Your family needs you. Your kids need you, and you need to be healthy for yourself.
Yeah.
You can't You can't be a rock star if yourself isn't healthy.
Yeah.
You know, you just can't.
And I want to emphasize the mental health too.
Yeah.
Just because a lot of people, they're scared to talk about things that may be going wrong. You know, you may be a little sad and they have a easy fix for you. Maybe you need a little talk therapy. Maybe you need a little medicine for, 3 to 6 months. No big deal. You know what I mean? And you just get healthy and you're better. But if you don't talk to people about it and you don't let your doctor know what's going on, nobody can help you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And I was thinking as you guys were talking too, you got your, out of pocket costs, you got your primary care costs, your specialist care costs, all that kind of stuff. But the phone call, that's free. It doesn't cost anything just to make a phone call and ask about mental stuff, ask about getting a physical, ask about what your benefits cover.
Yep.
That is all free. The only thing it costs is a few minutes. Same thing at looking at your paycheck and going through your stuff. That's free. And it's also something that could make you money or save you money. Advocate for yourself.
Yeah. While we're talking about that, I got to throw in the 401k.
Yeah.
It's a new year, for all these new people that have started. If you're not in our 401k, you're missing free money. We talk about it all the time. We are giving you free money. It's free. What is it, Dave?
It's free, Dave.
Free money.
Yeah.
So yeah, join in that. And I tell you what, over the last month or two, I've heard so many people saying, I had an emergency or I had to help a family member and I cashed out my 401k. So they're able to take advantage of that free money. That's phenomenal, right? And that's not what it's for.
No, you shouldn't do that if you can't.
But they had it. It was an emergency, right? And they had it. And I'm thankful that we're able to help provide with some of that. So that's good stuff right there.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and we might touch upon it. I know we're, Jam's about to bring it up here, but we're looking at some changes to the safety bonus. And the safety bonus, though, that's affected by your income also, and I don't know if everybody realizes that too. Your days off and your missed days, that takes the money that you're making. That's all percentage of that.
yeah.
So everything just multiplies your holiday, your PTO days, your safety bonus days, all of that. Just it's a windfall.
Yeah. It's all based on your gross income or your daily average.
Yep.
Yes.
So the safety bonus, if somebody makes, right now at 5%, if somebody made $100,000, that's a $5,000 bonus for the year broken up quarterly. Obviously the slower seasons will be lower and the higher seasons will be higher.
Yeah.
But 100,000, if you've been safe all year, you're going to get $5,000.
Yep.
Now, if you only made 80,000, 5% of that's less. If you made 120,000, 5% of that's more. So yeah, it absolutely snowballs or unfolds.
Yeah. And we do try to go back and average,
Yes.
that's what, it crosses months, once you're here. It's not like we're going back and looking at
30 days.
December.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your sick time, your sick days, your holiday pay, your PTO, that's off your daily average. But the bonuses are in a quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So, the first quarter bonus may be less than the third quarter bonus. Would you agree with that? Does that
Man,
make
I'm
sense?
sitting here thinking, Jam, because I've asked Joanne before, and doesn't she go back 6 months?
On the quarterly safety bonus?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was based on your gross income for that quarter.
I guess we have to ask because
Yeah.
I
No.
thought she went.
It's the gross income for the quarter.
Okay.
Your PTO and your holiday pay, I'm pretty sure she goes back 12 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's probably what you're thinking of.
All right. That's exactly it, Dave.
Okay. Glad we got that straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What's next? Or you guys have anything else for the discussion before we move on?
I don't, Jim.
No?
No, it was a good catch up.
Yeah. Just everybody get ready for the year. And if you're worried and slow and you're not working, come talk to dispatch about going to Utah. I would hope you could spend one night away from home and go haul a couple loads for the week,
Yep.
and make some money. So I do want to go back just to the payroll thing. And we talk about those bumps. This is the perfect time of year to just clarify, I'm making something up here, right? We had the holidays there on the Wednesday, right? So we were all jacked up. It was like a partial day on a Tuesday. We were off Wednesday, like a partial day Thursday. On Christmas, we were off Thursday. But what I'm bringing up here is if you were scheduled to work on that Monday and you were scheduled to work on that Friday and no other days in between, you got that bump on Friday because you were here Monday. And then if you worked Saturday, you got the Friday and Saturday bump, even though you didn't work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yes.
You know, and I guess I just want to emphasize that a lot of people don't understand that. You've done what we've asked.
Yep.
Here you go. You're rewarded for it.
Yep.
You know, and that Friday, Saturday bump, that raises your annual income incredibly. So take advantage of that, man. Yeah.
I like it. What's next? Well, we're going to be celebrating Friday, January 17th. We have our company holiday party. And I got to tell you, one of the most exciting things about that, besides hearing what you guys have planned for the safety bonus, that Frank's barbecue.
Frank's is good. It's some good
It's
barbecue.
Frank's is so good,
Good
and,
stuff.
Yeah.
and they're good people.
Yes.
So
Yep.
super excited about that.
I hope they
Ooh,
bring their son this year.
I bet he's bigger. I bet he's taller. But yeah, so keep that in mind. Friday the 17th. I'm sure we'll be bringing trucks in early. Typically, we tell Brandon we got to be done by noon, or
Yep.
I don't know how we're going to work it this year, but yeah. So
kind of the same thing. Jam, I seen a note, 2:00.
2:00.
And-
2:00 Friday.
Yep.
Yeah, and we'll start
So-
to bring them in. And
Good time to rub elbows with, your coworkers, maybe meet some people you haven't met before.
Yeah.
The new guys can kind of get to know some people, and it's a good time. I enjoy it.
I
Absolutely.
do know, as a little teaser, the calendars are amazing this year. We've given them out to some customers and people already, and they're like, that's the best calendar. That calendar's wonderful.
Right.
We thought the other calendars were good, and people are just raving about them.
Yeah.
Brother Dave had two of them sitting on a dispatch counter, like face down. I'm like, boop, start going through it. And I see I get the side eye a little bit. I'm like,
Yeah, there's
funny.
good stuff. Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be nice to see everybody, have everybody together
yeah.
and talk about it. Yep.
All right. Questions from the audience. Ricardo Cordova sent me an email and asked, what is the purpose of making us sign all these policies, and will we be terminated for refusing to do so? So I did ask as far as what all these policies were. I know we just came out with the 3 points of contact policy, and he answered, well, just policies in general. What happens if we refuse to sign them? So I'm going to give you the answer off the internet, which is the best practice, and then we'll talk about it. The answer off the internet. And this is more, our company's legally mandated to have people sign policies. And it says, despite the lack of legal mandate, most employers still ask employees to sign an acknowledgement form when receiving the company's safety policy handbook to demonstrate awareness and understanding. So I like that last part. We want you to sign these policies to demonstrate awareness
And understanding.
and understanding. I didn't understand that part. So will you be fired if you don't sign it? I mean, we've never had somebody say, you know what? I don't want to sign that safety policy. We're presenting reasonable safety policies to you. It is reasonable for us to ask you to have 3 points of contact when climbing in and out of your trailer, in and out of your truck. If you
When
don't,
that's the law.
and if you don't want to agree to that, I would say this probably, what our views are not in line. If you don't want to agree to being safe, then our views are not in line.
Right.
It's not
You
our
know,
culture.
it's not our culture.
is safety.
Yeah, if you don't want to agree and sign like our PTO policy or our attendance policy,
Or that you know how to use your axle load gauges.
or do we have a policy for that?
Well, I mean,
Is that a
I know I've
signature
harped on
page?
it long enough. I've asked for
Yeah, I
it,
don't-
Jam, but
Oh, okay.
the things are, we're told so many times when something happens, oh, I didn't know that. No one told me.
Right,
No one told me.
right.
No one told me. And I mean, Ricardo, if you had any idea, I mean, Jim's been doing this for over 40. I've been doing it for over 35. If I had $1 for every time someone told me that, we wouldn't have JFW anymore. We'd be so freaking rich.
Right.
We'd be out of here. And it gets so old hearing, no one told me that. I didn't know that.
That was the other enjoyable thing about doing this orientation, because I know what these guys have been told.
Yes.
I know what's covered. Oh, we didn't cover the podcast. No, you sure did.
Right. Right.
We talked about it in depth.
Right, Jam?
You know what I mean? Or, I didn't know about the attendance policy. Well, we went over it. I didn't know how PTO works. We had a driver tell Linda yesterday, hey, I want to get paid for these 2 days. She tells him, okay, put in pay comment. He tells her, I don't know how to do that.
Wow.
It's like, You know how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you back down to what you said, awareness and understanding, because Dave just said it. Oh, we've been told. Oh, I didn't know that. I wasn't told that. I wasn't that. The signature is proof.
Yeah. Super
There you
Dave, let me ask you. You hand me a 3-point of contact policy and say, I want you to read this and sign this. And I tell you, I'm not signing that. What happens?
Well, this whole thing started 25 years ago or more with the driver manual, because the drivers would say, oh, I was never told. And I would say, yes, you were, because it's right here in the manual and you signed off on it. So I think this is just my own thought, Jam, is that if it's been presented to you, then you could sign it off as a supervisor and say, this was presented to you, and it's up to you at that point. Yes.
You refuse to sign.
Yes.
But you were made aware of the policy.
Exactly.
Okay. Specifically, and I'm just going to be transparent about this 3-point of contact policy, right? The 3-point of contact policy, there is a financial piece to this. Is it okay if I discuss this?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Right?
It's the law. It's the law.
It's the law, right? So if you get hurt on the job breaking one of our safety policies, and it's got to be a reasonable safety policy, like having a 3-point of contact, okay? If you get hurt while you did not have a 3-point of contact, we are only responsible for 50% of your wages until you are back working, okay? Or if you come in on restricted duty, right? We're a company that will put you back to work. You can have 3 days
Absolutely.
off. If I know we got a guy hurt right now. It probably seems like I'll be bringing him to work on Monday or maybe even tomorrow, right? Because we live somewhat close to each other. We're going to get you here and let you work. You might be shredding papers. You might be doing this, but you're not going to get your full wage if you were in violation of one of these safety policies. And it sucks because if you weren't doing the right thing when you got injured, why are we responsible for you? Why do we need to take care of you when you didn't take care of yourself?
Hence the term the law.
The law, right? Now, your medical bills, this is all workers' comp, right?
Yeah.
Your medical bills are covered 100% under work comp. But your wages it's called a 50% indemnity, where we would only be responsible for half your wages.
Yep.
Right? So, yeah, it just sucks for JFW.
And to me, it's just common sense. I mean, we're still paying 50% of your wages for something you did.
Right.
You violated it. And that's fair that you're getting 50%
It's bullshit.
when you did it.
Yeah.
Right.
You're only half responsible for your poor choice.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you know what? You heard about the new Ford dealership that's just giving new cars out and you don't have to sign for your loan?
Sweet.
You need to sign and drive, Jim. Oh, that's Volkswagen. Never mind.
Right? When you buy a new house, they just let you just walk out. You just look at the papers. Hey, those are nice papers. And you walk out and they give you a house.
What's the address?
Right? Right? I mean, why would you not sign? They have to make you sign for a car so you're aware you have a loan.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. We're making you aware that we have a safety policy that you absolutely have to follow.
Right.
And if you think about it, our safety policies are really minimal.
Right.
I mean, if you ever worked for one of these big companies, oh my gosh, you got to put a cone outside of your truck when you get out. You got to, I mean, their policies that, their book is a foot thick.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I'm going to ask, why is that?
I was just about to bring this up.
You got it.
Policies are in place because shit's happened before.
That's right.
Someone's been
That's
hurt.
right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you know what, too?
And someone else.
Let me
is
tell you
paid.
something. It's not a bad thing. I was over at Yard 23 yesterday putting a new CB antenna and wire and everything in one of the trucks. And I signed one of those 3 points of contact papers the other day. And you know what? I was goddamn careful climbing up and down that
Right.
truck.
Right.
Because it was covered in snow. And I was aware of it
Yes.
because I just signed that paper. And I'm like, oh boy, you
I
know what? I'm going to
agree,
grab
Dave.
that handle.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn around. I'm going to step down
Yes.
facing the truck.
Yes.
And you know what? I didn't injure myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's really a good thing.
Yeah. And I mean, we can rewind. What was it? 5 years ago or longer that Marty, when he was cleaning
That's
his
right.
windows, he's out there in the yard in his
Oh,
spot
God, that was
in
probably
whatever
10 years ago.
Yeah,
Dave.
whatever spot that was. And Marty's no young spring chicken, right? And I love him to death, but he was standing on the steer tire, cleaned his driver's side window, and jumped backwards off the tire. This is a 60-plus-year-old person at the time, and jumped off backwards, rolled his ankle, and broke it. JFW had to pay. Right? Who asked him to do that? Right? Now we have to have that in our handbook not to do that, right?
Yeah.
You need 3 points of stance, not a, hey, watch this. All he was missing was hold my beer. I guess he was hold my glass cleaner, right? So Marty sat in here, I took him to urgent care. They put him in like a soft cast. Well, it was only for days because it was Marty. Then he's like, my boot's just fine. And he just hobbled on it. And we had him have to come in and shred papers, So
yeah. The other portion to the 50% indemnity is alcohol and drugs.
Mm-hmm.
If you get hurt and you have alcohol or drugs in your system, that's another situation where we would only pay 50% indemnity, which is
I can't believe it's 50%.
Yeah, it should be zero.
Nothing.
Should be 0%, right? So
again, your choices.
Yeah.
We're responsible for your choices.
yeah. So Ricardo, would you be fired? I mean, according to Super Dave, we would just make a note that you were informed and aware. You acknowledge,
And you refuse.
and you refuse.
That would be the note.
Yep, and then you'll never get another dispatch. Just kidding.
Right here too, though, you guys. Again, here's not a signature, but here's a podcast. And how many times, Jam, have you do you listen to the podcast? Somebody says no, but you go, do you listen to the podcast? Did you hear this part? And they go, yes. That's the acknowledgement.
Right.
You have been told several times.
Right?
Yeah. What if I told you guys, what time is it? Oh, you guys got time.
Yeah,
We're doing good on time.
Yeah.
What if I told you guys on this Connect Team app, we could upload the audio file of the podcast and there could be a quiz at the end, but you can't take the quiz unless that audio file has been played entirely,
Yeah.
including the songs.
Yeah, baby. I love it.
Is that crazy?
Yeah, that's
I
awesome.
love
Yeah.
it.
And that again, I'm sure somebody's listening to this and going, I don't want to, effing do that.
Well, if they're listening.
Right? It's engaged. You're already listening.
Yeah.
That's my point, Jam.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I'm sure, by the way, I'm going to go back because I've been teasing Erica, and Erica needs to tell you about her Ford story that I said,
no.
Did you hear the new Ford dealer giving the cars out? That's because it's a Ford. I'm sure somebody's going to catch
They're
that
giving
here.
them out?
Yeah, they're giving them away. You don't have to sign for them, but
I've been working Erica over with her Ford mistake.
well, you should have seen what Senior and Junior did to her in the shop over there because they looked at her back tire for her.
Oh,
Mikey
gotcha.
says you need to.
Yeah.
And I think it was something when she went out, there was like, GMC stuff stuck on on the door handles. Yeah, they razzed pretty good.
Too
So
funny. That's
the
awesome.
reason you can get a Ford. You don't have to sign for it.
That's
Giving them
funny.
away.
What if I also told you that we could put out an update or announcement and then you couldn't punch in, punch out, do anything else until you actually confirm that you received that
Oh,
announcement?
outstanding.
Yeah.
My first question, though, is going to be, what's this cost?
$3 to $6 per user per month. A max, if we got all the bells and whistles, they couldn't even give us any more modules. It's $10 a month per person. So
Gotcha.
that's $1,500 a month. I mean,
Yeah.
that's right in line.
That's significant.
That's Bamboo HR money right there. But
yeah.
depending on what we need and what we don't need, but it looks like the PTO portion work. But you have to have the time clock portion for the PTO portion to work.
Oh, gotcha.
But according to Joanne, we could use any time clock. Yeah. So anyway, we need to look at it a little bit more. I'm finding out more information. You guys know I'm pretty biased about Bamboo. I love Bamboo, but this thing may have some options that, just really make sense.
That's great.
And I did, it is tough probably on all the guys to be changing, Paycom, QuickBooks. We talk about this Connect,
Right.
We got XBE, we do all this stuff. We're just trying to be better, you guys.
Yeah. The other nice thing is if they have Connect, we have the communication piece to connect with our drivers, right? We have announcements. We can make our company announcement. There could be different groups. We can make a Boca group. We can make a Rock Tub group where you're only communicating to those groups.
Mm-hmm.
there could be a time, a punch in and punch out, and it's all into one app. We wouldn't need them punching in here, but receiving announcements over here. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So,
Yeah, and I liked it, Jam, and I know I asked you on the text, but because we're demoing it and you put like just a small group of us on there. But I loved getting the little announcement for
The reminder for JR's birthday.
Yeah, for JR's birthday.
yeah, it does anniversaries. It does all
because
that.
then it's like, Rick's today or one of the guys today, I could actually text him happy birthday. It's
Right.
It's more personal, but for me to remember it's Rick's birthday today
Right.
is hard, and I like that part. And it pops up and it's, confetti and stuff. It was just kind of classy.
Yeah. And the girl I was talking to yesterday, she was in Tel Aviv, which was pretty cool.
Oh, I bet.
Because I'm like, oh, over here in Colorado, we have this Colorado sick. What state are you in? She's like, Tel Aviv. I'm like, what?
Wow.
The state of Tel Aviv, right?
Wow.
Yeah. I'm like, wow, you're in Israel? She's like, yeah. Because I couldn't get the accent. I was like, I thought at first I thought she was like European, or I'm like,
Right.
what is going on here?
Yeah.
But anyway, could be pretty cool.
That's
All
awesome.
right. We have another question for the audience, and this comes from Clint Camar. He wants to know if there's any more chain classes coming up. He has chain before, but he says, put me down for a chain class because I want to learn as much as I can. So,
I think too on that, and I don't want to, it's not like I'm trying to push Clint off from taking a class, but we went over that before. As long as maybe you don't come to us right at the end of the day when we're all ready to go home, any one of us will show you how to chain. If you just ask, if you want a refresher or you haven't chained in a while and you volunteered to go up there to Redmond, get a hold of anybody and anybody can show you. You know what I mean? It's
what was cool is he was in the chain up area having some difficulties, and a couple JFW trucks came in, and he was like, hey, I need a little bit of help. And he's like, man, these brothers came right over and helped me out.
yeah, that's good.
That
is awesome.
That's that JFW stuff right there.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
I also kind of want to say, to that, we have a yard right here and at yard 23. Your chains are on your truck. Drop them in the yard and practice.
Try it.
That's kind of what I mean. There's all these people around. Just
Right.
chain up.
You have the means to do it yourself.
Right.
We will gladly come out and I tell you what, once you do it yourself without anyone, you're going to be like, oh, I should have put that link on the outside. I should have put, put the key on the right.
Yeah.
The
cams.
the cams on the outside. I should have done this or done that. And
Right.
you do it once or twice. You're like, oh, I need to do it like this. Oh, wait a minute. I can lay them on the ground and back on top of them, or you know what I mean? Whatever the case may be, right?
And the thing is with us, with our culture, I bet if you're out here in the yard or maybe not in your parking place, you might not see it. But if you start to chain here in the yard, I bet you get a crowd
Right.
of help. I have help.
What's he doing?
Yeah, why are you chaining up? We got to chain up to park.
Yeah.
I didn't get that announcement.
Yep.
Yeah, and I tell you what, chain up, go drive around the block on dry pavement. See what it feels like.
Yeah, keep it under 20 though, please.
Please.
Under 5.
Yeah.
I don't know about chaining up to park, Jam, but we've had a blizzard where we've had to chain trucks up to get them out of their parking
Oh,
spots.
I get it. When I was delivering for
In
Cormark,
the yard.
when I was delivering for Cormark, I was delivering to ski resorts. That was my route. And I'd have to chain up to get to the store because it would be on like a hill.
Yeah.
So like I get to my stop, chain up, go deliver, get back out, take the chains off, get to my next stop, chain up to just go deliver. I was chaining 6 times a day sometimes just to do my job.
Yeah. And, we talk about being advocates, and I understand what you're saying, Jim, because I agree with it. Don't not ask for help, but it just sit
or
right
wait
here.
for the chain class. I'm just saying.
No,
Yeah.
right. But what I'm saying is we talk about being an advocate for yourself. And we do this all day long with things we don't know. I just typed in my phone, how to chain up semi-tires. 7 videos come up. One's 3 minutes, one's 10 minutes, one's 7 minutes, one's 6 minutes. How to put tire chains on trucks. Pretty big help.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're an advocate for yourself. You're figuring it out. You're getting better. And I bet I could watch any one of these videos and probably be like, oh.
Yeah. Learn something or
Right.
Oh, I got to try that.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
As JR calls it, YouTube University.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
NASCAR, baby. That's where I learned to race.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to
Roman's racing.
I'm trying to break away from social media a little bit. There's reasons I have to have it, right? But I've actually took my social media and moved it to my last page on my phone.
Yep.
Because what I was finding, like, I tell myself, all right, I'm not going to get on social media. And then my hand just clicks Facebook. Just boom. You know, if there's a notification, I'm certainly over. So I put that, I'd have to scroll 1, 2, 3, open 4. It's like 5 moves to get to Facebook now. And I'm barely using it.
Good.
Right.
But
YouTube is educational for me. And I learned how to things, you know, so I'm like watching more educational videos instead of BS videos.
Yeah.
You know, just either hunting, medical, long range stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah, you can learn a lot of stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm basically a doctor.
Well, I heard what you were listening to when you pulled into your parking spot yesterday morning, and I was like, holy crap, does he not even listen to music? You were listening to some medical thing about hearts and stuff. I don't know. And it was really loud.
That's
It
funny.
was totally loud.
It's probably louder outside than inside.
So I was just like, holy cow.
That's funny.
Yeah.
He's in school.
I went ahead and paid for it, Jim, because I thought it would help force me to do it. But instead of doing the TikToks and the videos and stuff like that, I purchased an app that condenses the best books.
Headway?
Yes, down to 15 minutes.
I got the same one.
Did you do
That's in my Facebook spot.
Yep. But I've been trying to read 15 minutes instead of doing any social media
Yep.
and looking at TikTok videos.
I put it right in the spot where Facebook was.
Yep.
I'm like,
Yep. Yeah, and I did the 7-day trial, and I'm like, well, it's up to me to do it. You know what I mean? And it was interesting the way they condensed the books down. Have you done it?
Yeah, I could give you my stats here. Loading content.
Yeah.
I've done 15 key points, 25 minutes, and 12 insights this week. Anyway,
Yeah, and
What does that mean in English?
this week, since Monday, I've listened to 25 minutes of books instead of being on Facebook.
Ah, very
Yeah.
cool.
And the thing about it too is I've been trying to get a streak, and I've not completed like 6 days in a row. I just end up missing
a day.
Yeah. It's been 2 weeks, but yeah, it's I don't know, just something to try to change it up.
Yeah. I've actually listened to some of the summaries of books that I've read, and I'm like, they could have, you know.
Yeah, not
as good.
Yeah, like I think they could have, because honestly, Jim, I feel like AI
is doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, at first I was like, oh, cool. And I'm just like, this is some AI stuff, right?
Yeah. I just thought it would be better than the TikTok.
It's still better. It's still absolutely better than social media.
Just the aimless scrolling.
I mean, there's so much, I think there's so much good information on, you know, that you see positivity and stuff on the TikTok stuffs, but you know, there's still that blurb of, you know, a girl or whatever it might be, or the worst jokes, or, you know, somebody dogging somebody or whatever it might be, that are like, I don't need that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Good stuff.
Yeah, stuff on there about Justin Trudeau leaving Canada.
Who's that? He's dead to me. Safety topic of the week. Get plenty of rest. Take a nap if you need a nap. Samsara does detect possibly drowsiness, and sometimes it's right. Sometimes it's not possible. It is drowsiness.
True.
So if you are tired, please pull over and take a nap.
Oh, absolutely.
You will not get in trouble. We will not be mad at you. We'll probably shake your hand for doing that.
Yep.
Because
Yeah, it's
you
too
cannot
important.
you cannot protect yourself or the public if you're sleeping and driving.
Absolutely.
And I think this time of year is a little hard too. And we just talked about going through the last few weeks. You're off, you're up, you stay up late, you get in, you sleep, you have to get up early. You know, you have a snow day, so you stayed up because you knew you weren't working, all that different stuff. But that, you know, getting your rest and getting that 7-8 hours of sleep is important.
Yeah, we're about as screwed up on a schedule as can be, just getting back to it this week. So.
Absolutely. So it's important not to let this time of year mess with your schedule. Take your health and your job seriously.
Yeah. I do want to jump in there before the High Road Haulin' though, Jam, right quick.
Good.
I did think up a couple shout outs. They're actually for my wife, Janet, and for Sam. When Sam was back here for Christmas, you know, we had him for, I think, 7 days. 7 days is what he came home for Christmas. And it was funny. I took a couple days off because we just really wanted to spend some time with him. He's been gone and we needed to spend some time together, you know. And one of the things we went down to, what's the little kart racing? It used to be called Unser. Now it's called Podium.
Oh, the one on 36
and I-25,
Yeah.
Jim. And we went in there and it's called Podium Racing. And it was funny. We haven't been in there for a couple years, and he's like, "I'm going to kick your ass, Dad."
Wow.
And I'm like, "You're going to see my rear tail lights, buddy. That's all you're going to freaking see." And Janet looked at us, and it was funny. We got there. We hadn't been there long enough. We had to take the little safety course, and we were still in the computer and stuff. But anyway, we take the little safety course, and then we get up there, and we didn't get a race for like 30 minutes. It was kind of shocking. So we sat there and we watched a couple races go by, and Janet's like, "We're going to 1, 2, 3 that next race. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. And Sam and I were like, "Okay." Like, there's no way we're going to 1, 2, 3 this. And we got out.
How many people are racing?
I think there was 8 or 10 in each race, Jim.
So-
I can't remember how many cars are out there, but it was packed.
So you thought you're going to like 1, 2, 10 it.
I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to answer that. And Sam and I were just like, okay. And Janet's like, "What the hell, you guys? I'm going to kick everyone's ass. Like, I'm in it. I'm in it to win it."
I believe it.
And she's competitive,
I
right?
believe it.
But Sam and I, we didn't say anything, but apparently the looks on our faces did say
Hi,
something,
Ma.
right? So we get out there, and it was kind of funny because we got 2 races. We bought 2 races. And we get out there, and I mean, I just felt like we were just going at it, right? We're fighting.
How many laps is it?
It's a time. So it's as many laps as you can do in Jam. I'm going to say 4 minutes.
Okay.
It feels like a long time, but it's really not.
Right.
You know what I mean? And anyway, we get out there, and I blasted Sam. My fastest lap was like 30 seconds faster than Sam.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I don't even know where Janet came in. I was first. Sam was, I think he was second. And we're like, yeah, we're going to dial this in on the race. And Janet's like, "We're going to 1, 2, 3 it. We're going to 1, 2, 3 it." Well, sure enough, you guys, we ran that second race, and we 1, 2, 3'd it. And Sam beat me, and he beat me with a better time than I had on the first lap.
Ooh.
So shout out to you, Sam. Good job, man. That was cool. And Janet, you too, man. You beat everybody on the track except Sam and I. And the way I'm positioned in the cart, and you get, I'm shoe crammed in there, right? Shoehorned in there. And then they put the 5-point harness on you. They're nimble enough. They can turn around and look behind them. I can't look behind me. I don't know. I'm like, I go like this, and that's about all I got. My head don't move, and there's just too much around this neck to get turned around that far back, right? And I'm like, Janet's like, "I was right behind you the whole race." And I'm like, okay. I had no idea, So it was really, we had a blast.
That's awesome.
Like it was phenomenal. And
how old do you have to be to do that?
Oh, kids can do it, Jim.
So Bella could do it.
Yeah.
She's 10.
Yeah, absolutely. Now they do have to take a special course, and I'm not sure. I think at a certain age, their speeds are restricted,
Sure.
but what I've seen, most of the kids, if they're not comfortable, they go slow,
Right.
How
much was it?
Oh, Jam. I
Approximate.
Man, I'm trying to remember. I was just like, oh my God, that's
$500
No, I bet it was over 300
for
2 laps 3 of us
people. So about
for
100
2 races.
So it's probably like $50 a race.
Yeah, I almost, for some reason, like $46 sticks in my mind per person
sense.
per race. That sticks in my mind. Don't anybody quote me, but yeah.
Okay.
When I say not cheap, that's for 4 minutes.
Right.
That's pretty expensive, really.
Yeah,
you know what
that's
I
like
mean?
$12 a minute.
Yeah, exactly. So,
I was just going to say that, Jam.
but if you enjoy that stuff, it's just so fun.
It's a
man.
priceless thing.
It is. Yeah, you can't put it. Well,
No.
I wouldn't do it if it was $100, right? But yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm doing it every week
Yeah.
too, right? So
Yeah.
there's a big difference there.
Yeah.
Doing it once in a while, I think you gotta, it was a gift, right? That was our Christmas gift to each other, as we got to go do that. So,
Yeah,
and then I do want to give a shout out to Sam. He's been injured for basically the last year, and he actually gets to swim against University of Kentucky Friday.
So he's 100%.
He's 100% on the free.
Nice.
So they're going to let him swim the freestyle. He hasn't even been released to swim fly and breast yet, which those are his races. He puts all 4 moves together and swims the IM,
Wow.
the 2 IM and the 4 IM.
Good
Those
for
are
him,
his,
man.
Those are his races. So he's been a grinder, and Jim and I and Holly and Jen are going to fly out tomorrow and go see him Friday.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
excited
man.
to see Big Ten swim.
Yeah.
Good stuff,
and,
guys.
Yep.
and have family in that. That's cool.
Yep.
That's awesome. Good stuff. All right. Super Dave, what do you think? You want to hit us with that high road hauling?
Sure, I can do that, Jim. If everybody's ready.
Oh, man, we were born ready.
So
Ready and waiting.
It's the first one for 2025.
It is.
Of course we're ready,
It
Dave.
is. if anybody remembers the last High Road Haul, it was about, the end of the year. What are you thinking about for your New Year's resolutions or maybe goals for the new year? Not necessarily one-stop shop. I'm going to, quit smoking or whatever. It's always good to have goals like I'm going to save money or I'm going to, I can't think of anything else, but
Get my checkup.
yeah,
Get my
exactly,
my
Jim.
physical.
Yes, thank you.
Gonna look at my paycheck for the year, make sure everything's set up.
Gonna
right,
invest in my 401k.
Yeah.
Make sure JFW is
Yep.
giving me some free money for it.
So this kind of simplifies it down a little bit. This goes way, way back to John Gordon. John Gordon wrote a few motivational books. One of them that we did way back in our safety meetings in 2015. He wrote The Energy Bus. If Rick or Stingray, any of you guys remember that. And I still get emails from John Gordon for his motivational stuff and that. And that's what made me think of this. And he does this thing every year, and he's been doing it for many, many years. It's called What's Your One Word? And what he likes to do, and a lot of his people, he encourages them to pick a word rather than create a resolution. Because each year, people who make resolutions in our busy, stress-filled world with tons of distractions, the research shows, and I did mention this, that 9 out of 10 people will fail with those resolutions. Life will get busy and you'll just be too busy, So if you pick just one word to inspire you, to give meaning and focus on your upcoming year, it would drive you in the right direction. A resolution is usually a broad goal that can be derailed by many things over the course of a year's time. A word, though, can emphasize an idea, an emotion, and a direction that can help you focus your attention and motivate you toward your ultimate goal. It is direct and to the point. For example, a resolution to lose weight this next year is an open-ended goal. The person makes the statement, but usually neglects to outline that plan. Now, what if you choose a word to inspire you? One that you could post in a place that you see every day, a place impossible to ignore, or better yet, you could put your word in many places: the bathroom, your bedroom, in the refrigerator, on your windshield, or on your computer or phone. You would see it at the most stimulating times. In this case, a good word to use as a catalyst would be exercise. Okay? So it's fun practice and much more effective than a New Year's resolution. One word sticks. No goals, no resolutions, just one word that gives you meaning, mission, passion, and purpose. Remember, he was always about purpose, right? Very powerful stuff. One word that represents the essence of who we want to be for that upcoming year. You may not have any idea what your word is going to be this new year. That's okay. Give it some time. Don't randomly pick a word and allow a word to pick you. Think about it. Listen to your heart and your word will come. To help you get started, ask a few questions. What do you want to focus on this year? Or what's in the way? What do you need to do more or less of? What needs to change? Imagine the power of a single word. We could use our word to help make a positive change inside us that would help create positive change outside us. And here's just a few examples. Focus, today, intentional, me, you, words, seeds, outlook, motivation, serve, purpose, drive, teamwork, win, happy, play, work, thankful, forgive, respect, positive, love. So what is your word going to be this year? And the quote is by a guy named Arthur Rubinstein. I have found that if you love life, life will love you back. So let's everybody sit down, think about it, and pick a word that might carry you through 2025.
I got to ask, what's your word?
Helpful.
I think that's been your word for 25 years. Because you are super helpful.
You are super helpful.
Super.
Dave.
Super helpful.
Yep.
Jim, you got a word?
Yeah, I was listening to Super Dave, obviously, and do that. And I've just been trying to concentrate on an affirmation, Jam. And an affirmation, to me, they don't let you get away with the one word like helpful. They want you to I'm going to be more helpful this year in getting my kids up in the morning, or I'm going to be more helpful, with my wife doing the dishes. Or,
That's your outline.
It's my outline.
Yeah.
It's more being positive.
How are you going to be helpful?
But I totally agree with Super Dave, because you got to pick a word. What's going to be your word? And you can have many words, really, but that's what I've been trying to do, Jam. And what I want to lead into, because I like this high road hauling so much, is my final thoughts. If we can head into that, is, I'm talking about TikTok and stuff, but I try to do different feeds that are more positive. And was watching this woman that she said her high school student, her daughter, she's a senior in high school, got her first job, and she noticed her daughter coming home just complaining about her job. Just like, I don't like this person, Mom. I had to do this at my job. I had to do this. And her mom said she listened to this, for, 6 weeks, 6 months, whatever it was. And she goes, finally, I had so much of it. I had to stop my daughter, because is this what she's going to do the rest of her life? Because what she was doing from her job was she was picking up bricks and she was carrying them home, and she was stacking those bricks on top of her at her young age on her first job of, they make me cook the pizza. I have to mop the floor. I have to go clean where somebody just ate, and I hate it. And, she had all these bricks, and the mom said, I looked at her and I said, when you going to carry those bricks all your life? You're going to lug those around with you? She goes, I think you need to be looking at this process that you bring feathers home. And she felt that those bricks from her job would also be how she dealt with her husband, dealt with her kids, dealt with a problem, as they'd all be weights and bricks. Mm-hmm. And I would encourage everybody, we just talked around here how busy we are, and we talk about the new building, and we told everybody we'd break ground before the first of the year.
Yeah. For 6 months, we've been breaking ground in 30 days,
and we truly, we just keep running into bricks, you guys. But we are so close. But I look at those bricks as those are feathers, because it's going to make the building better. It's going to make the process better, because we've crossed all the T's. We've dotted the I's.
Right.
We've went back and redesigned the building. We've added this. We've subtracted this. And instead of just being pissed off that we haven't broken ground, that's a brick I'm carrying, it's a feather, because it's going to make us better. So I would encourage everybody, just pick up your feather and make it light, whether it's your relationship with your significant other, your kids, all of that stuff. You look at, just a quick instant, you look at Sam, all the surgeries and being out of the pool and all this stuff. And he's one positive guy. He's a guy that's got that athletic affirmation that I'm going to do this. He's back in the pool, swimming his first meet in a D1 school. That's amazing. We talked earlier, and you just said it about Super Dave, Jam, that, he's helpful. He hires people and hires people and hires people, and people quit, long-term people, people that, we have to let people go because there's a mistake. But his positivity about this next guy coming in, or this next person, man or woman, they're our person. He writes this little deal to us and goes, this guy's got a great background. He's going to be a culture fit. He's going to be a star. He stays positive about that.
We're going to love him.
You're going to love him when he's got hundreds of bricks every year that he's hired that he's carrying around. And it's a bitch for everybody. And I guess my, final thought is, they're not bricks, you guys. Anything can be turned into a learning lesson. And it's really how you look at it. Make your stuff feathers, and for you, Super Dave, I know you've got a lot of bricks already this year of where we've lost people, and lost people as far as working here at JFW. Just to finish up, touch on it is, we've got a couple guys that quit that, want to go buy their own trucks. They bought their own trucks. They want to be, successful. They want to try it on their own. Congratulations. Hopefully you've learned a lot here, and that's the American dream right there. Hopefully you can do that. If not, you have a home here because you've been wonderful teammates and employees. We've had, a guy just gave notice, a long-term guy. He's going to go to Arizona, moving his family. He's going to try something new. I wish him the best,
Yeah. When I heard Arizona yesterday, I was like, that actually sounds pretty good.
Arizona sounds pretty nice right now.
Right? Right? Absolutely.
5 degrees outside.
Exactly.
Of course, it's 80 down there.
Yeah.
Take me with you.
January.
I'm going to be in the back of the U-Haul. You can open the door and be like, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. And those are the people, but we also had, people that, just to touch on it, we work in a second job and we had to let them go yesterday. And it's the truth of it because we can't take the chance.
Yeah, but also there was why?
A couple safety issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
big time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We can't go into that. That's not polite, but yeah, there was some basic, to me, it was a serious safety
We're
violation.
being polite. I didn't know.
So yeah, there's all of that it's life. We have a lot of life going on here at JFW and we try to keep that outlook that we're carrying feathers. So that's my speech.
I'm,
Man, Jim,
nope.
go ahead, Jim.
No.
No, that's a perfect segue for me about life because I don't know if everybody's noticed, but we don't have any tips and tricks from Ray Davis.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I guess this is my final thoughts for the week. Ray Davis is going through some problems, whether this is good, bad, or indifferent, whether it should be shared on the podcast or not. It's nothing bad against Ray. We've all dealt with issues or are dealing with issues or will have to deal with issues. And I guess, Ray, this is from me. I don't have any other speech other than pull up your bootstraps and get shit done, get through it. You know what I mean? You're a warrior. Where you've come from and what you've done, what this is nothing more than a bump in the road.
This is like a pebble.
Right. And Jim, I loved your analogy this morning before we started the podcast. We were all kind of kibitzing a little bit here. We didn't have much time because we had to get this knocked out so we could leave. But our JFW path is kind of like 270.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a very smooth road,
and it's old.
Yeah. You go in and you make some repairs on it and it's better, but damn, we're always having to work on it. It always
I thought
has
it was more like 58 going to plant 2 over there.
Closed for a while. And I guess what I'm getting at is, like I say, I don't have another speech. Man, buckle up your bootstraps, put on your coat. Let's get some shit done. 2025 is going to be a great year. Jim, you're talking about, are you carrying bricks or are you carrying feathers? No one can run from their problems. You got to just stand up, face them, and deal with them. Super Dave, you're always saying the best way to get that done is come to work. I've never met a person that doesn't have a problem that when they don't come to work, that problem just got compounded because now they have a problem and they don't have any money.
Right.
And damn, we're all faced with life, right?
Yeah.
Let's get it done. 2025 is going to be a good year. I'm going to sit right here and hopefully I don't get in trouble. Ray's got a lot of friends and people in places that can take me out, he says. So I'm encouraging everybody to just call Ray, show him a little love. That's just my 2 cents.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Ray is a good person.
he is.
He's got
He
a
is.
good heart.
He's part of our family.
He is.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah. So Ray, I wish you the best, no matter what you decide to do. But remember, no matter where you go, you're going to carry problems, right? So it's best just to face him and move on.
Super Dave, you have any other final thoughts? Okay.
I'm good.
I'm going to bring it back to the Lord just because of what you and Jim were talking about. And this is James 1, verse 2. And it's titled Testing of Your Faith. And I didn't have final thoughts today. I felt like I gave a lot of my thoughts throughout the podcast. But
Your final thoughts were mid thoughts
yeah,
and
so-
beginning thoughts.
and now they're my final thoughts. And we're
Love
gonna end it here.
Love it.
Count it all joy, my brothers, sisters too, right? But count it all joy. And what is it? Everything. The problems, the bricks, the feathers. Count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds. For you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. And let that steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing.
Mm. Mm. Yeah.
Amen.
There you go.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I watched this interview, and it was this guy talking about his dad, and he found out his dad got cancer, and his dad was like, I'm not going to do anything. And the son was like, you got to give it a fight.
Right.
We all count on you. We all need you, you know? And the dad was like, I got one. I'll give it one. I'll give it one fight. That's it. Well, like 7 years go by. He had had chemo. He had had surgery. He had had more chemo. He had had radiation. You name it. And the kid looks at him and he goes, Dad, how are you doing this? I thought you were going to do it once. And he said, man, I just need one more day. One more day that I can be with you or my wife.
Yeah.
Or my grandkids. I just might get to see the chance to get him married.
It's powerful.
Good stuff.
Absolutely. Hey, everybody, don't forget to like and subscribe to the Channel 23 podcast. Hit that follow button. Also, don't forget to go back and listen to episode 72 to help find Amber's mom. We haven't gave up on that either. Links to her story will be in today's show notes. Let's say the creed and get on out.
Sounds good.
Together,
We face and overcome.
what-
Let's start over. When we say together, we got to say it together.
Together has to start together.
Yep. And a one and a two.
All right.
Together we face and overcome all that stands before us. Together we are accident free. Together we joyfully create honest values for those we serve. Together we celebrate our differences and respect those with whom we work. Together we are accountable for our words and our actions. Together we are the JFW family. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Happy New Year again, and let's have a kick-ass 2025.
Absolutely. Thanks,
Have a great
everybody.
week, everybody.
I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-looking for another load. Well, it's a family tradition, any Rocky Mountain day. Our fathers before us showed us the way. We work for asphalt cowboys and concrete kings, but that's never been a problem, 'cause we got diesel in our veins. We've got diesel in our veins. I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just looking for another load. I hear there's a couple million tons to move. I see them everywhere. So you best get out their way and watch that sand and gravel disappear. There's another run to make. We gotta get it there on time. And we got what it takes to lay it all out on the line. We'll lay it all out on the line. I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just looking for another load. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks got the best drivers in town. They got all the tools they need to keep that hammer down. When they hit them scales, they won't need to dodge them, won't need to duck them. They just keep that hammer down, and they keep that diesel trucking. Keep that hammer down, and keep that diesel trucking. I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-looking for another load. They just keep them doors a-closed, keep them butts in their seats, 'cause those customers are calling, and those red trucks can't be beat. They've gotta put the hammer down and pick up another load. Get it off the ground, keep them eyes open and on the road. Keep them eyes open on the road. I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just looking for another load. Breaker 23, anybody got a copy on that Channel 23 podcast? Welcome, and thanks for listening.